Howdy y'all, I am Ice Gold, and today I wanted to talk about a little something that's been going on over this last week. As some of you may know, fellow content creator LiahmIsaVibe was removed from KingsIsle's extra credits program, which is something they have for all sorts of content creators for the games, ranging from fan sites to YouTube, to Twitter, even to authors of Wiz-related fiction novels. The list, it really goes on there. There's been a number of theories circulating over what he got kicked for, but I'll get to those in a bit. First, I wanted to touch on the requirements to be in extra credits. I applied around 2 months ago. I have not heard back at the time of recording, but I and many others that applied for this wave keep getting told they'll get to it soon. You know how it goes. The main requirements to be in extra credits are being family friendly, helpful, and respectful to all community members, have no significant infractions on any of your game accounts, are in good standing with the community at large, have produced meaningful regular game content over the past 3 months, have produced program-specific content for at least 50% of the yearly objectives, have at least one social channel or site where you are publishing content, have fun, and share your love of the game through the content you create. Well, that seems legit to me. It's about what I'd expect from a KI-endorsed creator program, and there's really nothing wrong with these rules. They all seem pretty typical for a game like Wiz to have, and I haven't seen anyone disagree with that or say these rules are unreasonable. The controversy comes in when you think about how these rules are enforced. At the moment, there's about, 50 members of the program, with about half of that number slated to join in the next wave. This is a lot of people, so it's understandable that Spark, the community manager leading the project, can't get to everyone and check to see if everyone's still meeting the requirements. This is sort of where the Liam situation picks up. According to the email he read from KI, he was being removed from the program for inactivity. And I'll play a quick little clip of Liam's video that he made on this topic.
Now, I'm gonna play this clip on stream of me reading the email. I wasn't gonna show it on stream, but I decided to just read it because I thought it'd be a lot more funny this way. In an effort to keep the extra credits program healthy and active, we occasionally review current members to ensure participation is meeting the minimum activity requirement. Your activity was below the requirements of regular game-related community content developed in the past 3 months. No worries on the reason why. Life happens, but due to the lack of activity, as well as possible other considerations, we will need to remove you from the program on April 12th, 2024 to make room for other community members that have been active.
Just for a bit of context here, this is Liam's videos tab on his channel. He uploads basically the same amount of videos as me, roughly at the same rate, and completes the extra credits objectives regularly as he sees fit for his channel. So, right out of the gate, both of the explanations for why he'd be removed for inactivity have been thrown out the window. Rightfully, content creators and community members alike saw this and quickly understood that quote-unquote inactivity made no sense for a removal reason. People naturally started looking at the other guidelines to see if he'd violated any of those. I guess he's not always super family friendly. There's a number of people always starting beef with him, to which he typically doesn't respond. He doesn't do every objective, but it does only say 50%. Huh. That's odd. Throwing out the latter two since they're redundant, let's direct our attention to the family-friendly bit. Sure, it's Wiz, which has an ESRB rating of E for everyone, but I've never known Liam to have a sailor mouth over Wiz. He'll swear here and there, but I haven't heard him swear in any extra credits objective videos, and if he did, he wouldn't get the meager rewards that the program offers. Liam is careful about this. There was a situation a bit ago where he collabed with someone and his video did not have any swears in it, but the collaborator had one, and the collaborator did not receive the monthly rewards as a result of that. And this, dear viewer, is where the conspiracy theories start to roll in. Quick disclaimer before I start on this part, none of this is confirmed, which is, that's why I could call them conspiracy theories. One of the leading theories is that due to Liam's criticism of the design team's decisions regarding the game, the people overseeing extra credits were told to keep a closer eye on his content or even told to re-review his channel. The presumed intent here in this situation, if it happened, right, was to get him for whatever reason they could find. And if they couldn't get him for anything, slap a random reason onto the email and call it a day. Probably something like super vague, which is what they ended up doing with saying it was inactivity. Liam's criticisms of the game, especially recently with the whole Art 2 spellements being a massive problem, and then having a pack come out the very next week feeling like a whole, quote-unquote, we made this problem and sold the solution type thing, must have rubbed certain KI staff the wrong way, which led to this outcome where Liam was kicked from extra credits. There is a point to be made that, like I mentioned before, they don't have as much time to do the same to everyone else in the program, which has this sort of adverse effect of making it look very targeted at Liam specifically, seeing as there are many other members of the program that have violated the guidelines above and are still in extra credits. That's not to say that we should go after them, but it's just a thing that's been happening. Another theory that sort of stacks on top of that is that the real reason why Liam was kicked was because he was being too critical, and KI just didn't want to tell him that outright. And again, quick disclaimer, that is not confirmed, that's just a theory. Again, but it sounds believable enough, knowing KI, to where it's become one of the leading theories. And I doubt we'll get an answer on this, but if they don't outwardly make a convincing statement saying that it's false, there's gonna be a wave of paranoia about being in the program. One of the main things that stopped me from applying a few months ago, and y'all could see this in my first MCSG video, it was that I wasn't sure if I would be allowed to be critical of the game if I was in the program. Those fears were dispelled at the time. This was around the time where the round table happened, and it's like the creators there who were being critical of the game, they didn't get kicked from the program, so that sort of told me, maybe it's alright. So it's like those fears were dispelled at the time, so I sent in my application. But this situation with Liam brings them right on back, because why else would KingsIsle kick one of their biggest critics from their content creator program and then lie to him about the reason? I'm even scared to talk about this in a video because it might jeopardize my chances of getting into the program myself. This kind of paranoia is not good at all for the community, because if we can't trust the KI won't kick us from EC for criticizing the game, then why should we apply to join? It wasn't like Liam was being toxic in his criticism either. He's made many videos criticizing the game, so did he make one too many? Did he go too far with the comments somewhere? Did he belittle a bunch of his fellow passionate creators and start drama with them and never apologize? It's like, what could have possibly gotten him on KI's bad side to the point where they'd kick him from extra credits and then lie to him about why he was kicked? These are the questions that are gonna plague the program for years to come if KI doesn't convince us beyond a shadow of a doubt that he really was removed for inactivity, and then really explain what inactivity means in this context. Because that, I feel like, is a big part of the puzzle that is still missing. It could be that inactivity really is why he was removed from the program, but their definition, KingsIsle's definition of inactivity, just differs from ours. And I'm saying, like, they need to get on that, because it only takes one situation in this vein to dissuade people from applying to join what is otherwise a really great program. There have also been many people saying, oh, well, so-and-so hasn't uploaded in a year, or so-and-so doesn't even make Wiz content. They're just in the program because they have a bunch of subs, and they're questioning why those people haven't been removed. And the way I see it, there's no way to monitor what's about to be looking like, 75 different content creators to check their output, so maybe a yearly sweep? I don't know. Personally, though, I don't think we should be making this situation about all the other content creators who have gone inactive for one reason or another, but knowing how many of those there are, it really just kind of cements the whole theory about this being targeted at Liam specifically. But that's just how I'm feeling about this situation. I do hope that KI makes a better statement than the one that we saw in Liam's comment section, but I think it's like I was saying, this is going to create sort of a wave of paranoia within the community, and it's like, is extra credits really all that if we have to change our content drastically to get in and then remain in. So I don't know. We'll see how the situation develops. So thank you all for watching. I've been iSkull. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave like 50 comments for the algorithm. My Discord is down in the description if you want to chat with me some more, and I'll see y'all later.